making his move. It's starting to look like a hydroplane race out there with all of the clouds of water that the cars kick up. But Bobby now has some traffic to contend with. He's got to be very, very cautious. Emerson is good in this sort of a situation. He is extremely good, probably one of the best.
Rahal is certainly a wet track driver also. Bobby Rahal, originally from Medina, Ohio, doing very well in tough course conditions here at the Meadowlands. Emerson making a run now as Emerson Fittipaldi.
Oh, he hit the inside fence. Emerson was forced to the inside. It looks like he tried to make the move on the inside on Rahal. Suddenly, he got into the fence.
See if there's any damage to that left rear tire. That's where the contact was made. He's still outrunning as Emerson Fittipaldi as his wife Teresa roots him on from the side.
You can see the flash. It doesn't appear that it's knocked anything askew on Emo's car, but you never can tell. It might be something just out enough that he'll have to slow down, and if Rahal can get by this traffic and move ahead, then we'll be able to tell.
Racing luck, sometimes it's good. It was there for Emerson Fittipaldi. You'll recall the Andrettis who were running 1-2 going out earlier in the race on contact.
Here he's moving on the inside. You can see him pushing down in there. Rahal moves over. They bump. Emo just makes contact. I don't think it did enough damage to Emo's car to make any difference.
This is Lyondike's onboard camera as they came to the green. Now watch him as he darted right inside of both the Andrettis and started to move up. And we've got a problem. That's Bettenhausen.
And Ted Prappus. Sorry, it's Jeff Andretti. Jeff Andretti in the Texaco Haviland car.
Jeff Andretti, one of four, of course, starting here. The 16 car is Tony Bettenhausen. And the yellow flag comes out, and as we suggested earlier, when there's an incident, they will bring out a full course yellow. Even though this is a road course, they view that it's very much like an oval, distorted though it may be. So at the Meadowlands now, with just 3 laps complete, the yellow flag does come out because of this incident over here in turn 1 involving Tony Bettenhausen and Jeff Andretti. The twin yellow flags flying at the start-finish line. So we're underway at the Meadowlands. We're approaching the halfway point in the season. There you see Jeff Andretti walking back with one of the doctors, Steve Albee, here. Frustrated, obviously.
Very frustrated. Obviously, he thinks it wasn't his fault. We didn't see exactly what happened, but unfortunately ruined the day for himself and Tony Bettenhausen, who had really had his best qualifying for quite some time in that MX Cole car. Tony Bettenhausen started in 15th place.
And there's a chance to look at what may have happened there. They're behind Foyt. Ooh, that could have been nasty. They came close. They touched wheels.
Well, we just mentioned how difficult it is to make a pass here. We saw Jeff try to go down the inside. Tony didn't see him, turned in, contact, and that was it.
Rick Mears still the leader of the race. Rahal with his pit stop got around Fittipaldi on the pit exit and runs in second place as he tries to chase Mears down. Very wisely, Scott Goodyear, the young Canadian, moves to the outside, gives them some racing room down to the inside, but Rahal is right there and climbing on the back of Rick Mears. It's a fight for the lead. The Quaker State onboard camera as Rahal through the braking area comes to the outside, but he can't make the move on Mears.
He can't make the move because Mears moved down to the inside, made Rahal go around the outside if he was going to try and make this move, but traffic really playing a role here. But Rahal had a superb pit stop, actually past Fittipaldi, exiting the pits. Good pit work by the Craco team.
At the same time, Fittipaldi running in third place, trying to hold off Michael Andretti. And Rick Mears still trying to hold Rahal. Here comes Rahal again, swinging to the outside. Now to the inside. Boy, look at this from the Quaker State onboard camera. A drag race down the backside for the lead.
Rahal is on the inside. He's got the advantage this time.
Rahal now can force Rick Mears to come in behind a slightly slower moving car. And he does so, and Bobby Rahal takes the lead. In doing that, though, it costs time and distance. As we look back to Rick Mears, you see right behind him, Fittipaldi and Michael Andretti have closed up as well.
Great move by Rahal. That pass actually started way back in turn 1 when he went very wide under braking and actually gets the pass accomplished down in turn 2. A great move under braking for Emerson.
Bobby Rahal.
For Rahal.
Bobby Rahal.
Boy, Al Jr. is really pressing. Now look at this. He has the prime spot. I don't know if he can do it Emo is smart enough to be able to stay in the middle of the racetrack close to that inside wall. He knows that Al cannot go around the outside of him, so that was a brilliant move. Here, look, he's going around the outside. Al Unser has the line. He has the spot. We'll see if he can outbrake him into the turn and take the spot over. He does. Goes through the bell. No, he's in the slick part. He makes it.
Right where little Al made the pass was right where Emo plugged into the wall last year and went out of the race. Here's Rahal. Car cam aboard Bobby Rahal's car. Danny Sullivan said one thing about a narrow track like this: when you are in front, you can shut the door on somebody trying to overtake. It doesn't take much.
Michael and Mario started 1-2 also in 1986, and Mario took the lead on the first turn, beat Michael to the first turn, but neither would win that day. The winner was Danny Sullivan back in '86. We're looking off the back of Mario Andretti's racing machine now, as Andretti looks back at hard-charging Bobby Rahal, who's the defending champion, and man, we have a collision between two of the top cars in the race.
That was unbelievable. He flat drove. I don't know whether he had a brake problem or what might have happened there, but he just flat. We saw it coming. He drove right into the back of him, and that puts Mario out of the race as well as Bobby Rahal, two of the top contenders. And that's a little bit puzzling. Be interesting to look at that.
Mario Andretti, who had the lead after starting in the number 2 position at the outset on race day, goes out of the race. His racing luck turns up bad again here in the Meadowlands.
They're not going to move that car, the wheels all askew in the front like that. So
we're back, Johnny, under a full course yellow caution.
Yeah.
It looks like Rahal's out of business too. There's Bobby Rahal. He's done racing for the day, the defending champion.
Yeah, he's upset with, it's hard. I'm telling you, it's really hard to get out of a car, and he's saying something to Mario there. Mario's still strapped in his car, but it's really hard to be keyed up and have the adrenaline flowing and then suddenly have it just stop on you like that, and you want to blame everybody first, and it may even be your own fault or mostly your fault, but you still can't accept that because you wonder why, what in the world happened, and it happened so quickly. Here we have a chance to look at it, Don, and see what happened. They're coming down in here. They're very close together, and suddenly Mario went to the outside. I see what happened. He just flat moved to the outside and cut Bobby off. Bobby had nowhere to go, and that was unfortunate. It was Rahal was on a move and had some momentum, was going to try to cut back to the inside. Mario was moving to the outside, and here we see it from what we looked at originally from the back. You can see he's moving to the inside. Rahal moves, bang, there's the contact, and that was one guy going one way and the other one trying to go the other, and they just made contact.
You think it was a tactical move by Andretti to try to keep Rahal from passing?
Here we can look at it in slow motion, and we'll see. We'll see Mario moving to the outside. I think he was trying to get position, and Rahal just was coming, had too much momentum, coming in too hard, came together, and that's the end of the day for both of them. That would be exasperating in both cockpits, I'm sure.
So the defending champion Rahal goes out, and there's Bobby Rahal, who called his 2 wins here at the Meadowlands Grand Prix the most satisfying victories of his racing career outside of his Indianapolis 500 win. Mario Andretti, 50 years old, he too is out of the race. He's not won an IndyCar race in 2 years now.
The path to Indianapolis champions battle on the road circuit at the Meadowlands.
All right, now remember, we've got Bobby Rahal. He's having a missing problem. Remember, the rev limiter is cutting out, and the car right behind him. Danny Sullivan with no clutch. So in a way, we have 2 partially lame cars here.
Oh, they cut, and Sullivan lost the brake and knocked the side of Rahal. We talked about tough driving. Now you're seeing it. Look at these guys. And Rahal gives the lead away to Sullivan.
Boy, that's pretty hard driving going on there. That's almost getting back like the super modified days, Paul.
It's not Saturday night. It's Sunday afternoon at the Meadowlands. Rahal in second place, but both first and second place are working with mechanical problems. Third place is Roberto Guerrero.
I think they're both very lucky that their cars aren't bent from that one.
Here they are. This is it once again as Sullivan tries the inside.
Boy, that's a hard hit on those cars.
Incredibly lucky that they didn't touch surface to surface on the tires, or somebody was going through the air.
That could have been one of the worst wrecks I could have seen in a long time, but it appears like neither car is injured or damaged.
I wonder, though, if it seems like it could not have gotten away without bending the front suspension on one of those cars.
Tries to come under him once again, and Mario shuts the door.
And what's that?
Mario is slowing down.
Big trouble.
The bad luck continues to stalk Mario Andretti.
Paul Newman can't believe it. And there is our new leader once again, Al. And there's somebody hit the wall.
Boisel hit the wall down the front straight. Jones and Mears coming behind him. And then the leader, Little Al, as we'll have a white flag for one lap to go. And that is the 30 car Raul Boisel Domino's Pizza that stopped against the wall.
Again without any injury. And again a
There was no yellow. There was no yellow.
Yes, he hit the wall very hard. He must have hit the wall there. I estimate he hit the wall there at well over 100 miles an hour, probably close to 130 miles an hour. And again, he just seems to have creeped his way. Mario Andretti is in the meantime driving slowly around the racetrack. There's a front wing lying in the front of the front stretch that I can look down. The front wing will have to be picked up by one of the officials here.
And now the checker flag for the winner, Little Al Unser. Back-to-back victories, his third on the year. And disappointment, that of course is Paul Newman, and he is one of the car owners of Mario Andretti, and it was ever so close. So there's jubilation in one pit and disappointment in another.
Well, it looked like it was only 2 laps to go, really, maybe 3 laps to go when that occurred, and I don't think it may have been running out of gas. It could have been that.
Paul, by the way, drove yesterday and drove very well. Did not complete the race. Everybody loves to come out and watch him drive. And the victory lap for Al Unser Jr.
Bobby Rahal driving alongside there, congratulating him.
For him, and that's what it looks like it is.
Al Unser Jr. won at the Portland race last year, ran second, led much of that race this year, and then dropped back, finishing second. Al Unser Jr. Oh, Andretti was hit by Rahal. Andretti hit by Rahal coming into the corner. Jeff Brabham is there as well. Our camera car involved. Bobby Rahal got the nose in under braking. He slid right into the back of Andretti.
Well, it's a certain sure thing that Mario's out of the race. This race is being so much different, I just can't believe it. I don't think we've seen this much bad luck in an awful long time, but Mario's tire is not completely crooked, so he's going to be totally out of the race.
Well, it's anybody's bet right now as Bobby Rahal is rolling, though he's lost just a little bit. We'll have to see the scoring resolve. We assume that Bobby Rahal goes from the pits, and that should give the lead to Emerson Fittipaldi. Bobby Rahal takes a change of tires, and there, Mario Andretti, who has had such a magnificent season so far, really only gave away 1 point this season, finishing second at Indianapolis. Now he sits on the wall out of this race. Let's look at it again. They come down. That's Jeff Brabham, number 7, in front. Andretti was under braking, and Rahal just ran into the back of him.
Well, Mario looks like he started sliding from braking before Bobby hit him, and then Bobby just had to stop, and Jeff was really the innocent person after we look at the rerun.
So the Beatrice Lola, you can see the right front.
Looks like Mario's rear brakes just locked up more than his fronts when he was getting into the turn.
Well, that certainly can happen. Braking bias on the front normally on a dry circuit. Andretti tried to get it under control, but Rahal was challenging at the time and smacked him right in the back. Here is the lead.
Mario, what happened out there? Looks like Rahal got you on braking.
Well, he did. I think he probably should try to check his depth perception a little bit. Hit me square in the back under braking, and I wound up into Brabham and damaged my front suspension.
Back to you, Don.
Okay, so Harry Lyondike, who looked to be in deep trouble, is back running well now.
Well, that's the one thing about those nice those tire barriers. Well, he's over. He's over Jonathan Turner. What in the world? That is incredible. Now he's going up the road to try to turn around. He's back over headed for Giant Stadium. Maybe he knows something we don't, but there he goes. Now he's turning it around in the parking lot at Giant Stadium and heading back to the racetrack. I wonder what he's going to do when he meets those cars head on coming down to turn 1. That's the other thing. Now they've sent safety equipment after him to see if they can do anything, but he must have pulled up and stopped because he didn't come back.
Heading towards the Lincoln Tunnel. We go back down to Brian.
Now this is where going down to Andretti turn, where it would be a logical place, but Little Al is not just close enough to him, but look how Fittipaldi was using the center of the load. Little Al took advantage of that, and he's right glued to his tail again. And he's striking for a move. Can he do it? He's done it!
Took it. Emerson went right into the wall, to the tires and the wall. And that is right through the chicane.
Well, it was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed enthusiasm, I'm afraid, and that was the situation of Little Al there. He took the opportunity, and we're certainly going to yellow there. Fittipaldi could easily have hurt his legs because that was a heavy impact. He hit the tires. They're still looking. They're disgusted. They're concerned. He's not out of the car. These are the rescue people who are looking. Fittipaldi's already taken the steering wheel off. He's moving around. He's okay, but he could certainly have damaged his feet and ankles. That was a heavy impact, Charlie.
And we're under full course yellow.
And that was a coming together. Little Al took advantage there. He went where maybe angels would fear to tread, but he just put himself into a position where there was no room left for Emerson Fittipaldi. He locked up his brakes. You can see the brake lines there, the rubber marks there. He slammed into the tire first of all and then into the wall. There's the replay. Now, watch Little Al here. He comes in the inside. Emerson doesn't expect him to do that. He's alongside. He's side by side, but not quite far enough. They collide there, and Fittipaldi is shot straight in to that wall there. That was heavy impact. Now, Fittipaldi will almost certainly say that Little Al is to blame.
From a driver's standpoint, who is to blame?
Well, this is a different angle of the same accident, and you can see Little Al took advantage coming out of that other corner. He ran up on him. Emerson was taking the traditional line. Little Al certainly accelerated at that point. And really, it would be a hard call to say who was wrong. Is there a right-of-way? Is there a right-of-way? Well, there generally is. Look at this. Emerson's out the car, and he's now shaking his fist at Little Al as he went past there. There is an angry Brazilian.